The string of colored lights draped across the porch railing winks at me like we share a secret. I shift the weight of my homemade gingerbread cookies to my hip and adjust the stack of wrapped presents tucked under my arm. The drive from Athens to Greenville stretched longer than usual tonight, every mile adding another layer of anticipation. Christmas at my mother's house, our family home, has always felt like stepping back in time. Until now. I pause at the bottom step, struck by how beautiful the old Victorian looks. White Christmas lights outline every window, casting a warm glow against the December darkness. The giant wreath on the front door, the same one Dad bought 20 years ago, adorned with fresh red berries and pine cones I collected last weekend. Smoke curls from the chimney into the clear South Carolina night. From the outside, everything appears perfect. My breath forms small clouds in the cold air as I climb the steps. The porch boards creak in familiar places, the third step from the bottom, the spot near the railing where Dad once spilled paint. I paid for the new roof last spring, the one that kept the rain from seeping into the attic where Mom stores all our childhood memorabilia, $7,200 from my savings account. A murmur of voices drifts through the partially open window to my left, the living room, where everyone gathers before dinner. I recognize Mom's voice immediately, clear and precise as always. We all agreed she's not welcome this Christmas. My hands tighten around the cookie tin. The words hang in the air, sharp and impossible. Just keep her on the mortgage, though. Uncle Vernon's practical tone, the same one he uses at the bank where he's managed for 20 years. A laugh follows my cousin Monroe. She'll keep paying even if we don't invite her. That's just how Noah is. I stand frozen, cookies clutched against my chest like a shield. The festive wrapping on my gifts suddenly seems garish and foolish. She's not family. My mother's voice again, casual as if discussing the weather. She's just convenient. 4 years earlier, I sat in a leather chair at Carolina First Bank, pen hovering over cosigner papers for Mom's mortgage refinance. Uncle Vernon stood behind her, his hand on her shoulder, explaining how this arrangement would save the family home after Dad's medical bills had nearly bankrupted her. "You're saving this family," Mom had whispered, tears welling in her eyes as I signed my name next to hers, the rush of pride I felt finally being the daughter they needed. "This is your home too," she promised. I never asked for anything in writing. Family doesn't work that way. The first signs came subtly. The group text about Christmas planning never appeared on my phone this year. When I asked Mom about it 2 weeks ago, her response came hours later. "We figured you'd be busy this year." I texted Monroe next. No response. I should have recognized the pattern from last Christmas when I arrived to find 11 place settings at a table for 12. I ended up eating from a paper plate in the kitchen, catching snippets of laughter from the dining room. Now I stand on the porch clutching gifts for people discussing my exclusion. My fingertips tingle with cold. In my coat pocket, my phone vibrates with a calendar reminder. Mortgage payment minus $1,442, tomorrow. The ornament slips from between my fingers before I realize I'm holding it. A small glass angel I brought as an extra gift for the tree. It shatters against the porch step, the sound sharp and final in the quiet night. Inside, the voices stop. "Did you hear something?" Monroe asks. I step backward, away from the splintered glass. My shoulders straighten as something shifts inside me. I turn and walk deliberately toward my car, each step measured and calm. No running, no tears. Not yet. The screen of my phone glows in the darkness of my car. Tomorrow's scheduled mortgage payment, $1,442. The same amount I've paid every month for 4 years while they decided if I was family or just convenient. I start the engine. The Christmas lights of the house, according to the bank, reflect in my rearview mirror as I pull away. They've made their choice. Now it's time for me to make mine. Next day, the financial records spread across my kitchen table like fallen autumn leaves. 4 years of statements, each page a month of my life converted to numbers. My hands tremble as I total the final column on my calculator. $69,216. The amount glows on the small screen, accusing me. Nearly $70,000 paid toward a house where I'm not welcome. A house where my mother, Uncle Vernon, and cousin Monroe sit in warmth discussing my exclusion as casually as discussing the weather. I push back from the table, my chair scraping against the tile floor of my Athens apartment. Morning light streams through the blinds, catching dust motes in its beam. Outside, My neighbors prepare for Christmas with twinkling lights and inflatable snowmen. Inside, I'm dismantling the fiction of my family. The warranty deed sits in the center of my financial archaeology. I found it online last night in the county records, my name conspicuously absent despite being on every mortgage statement. Uncle Vernon's banking expertise at work keeping me financially responsible while legally powerless. My phone chimes with a text from my mother. Did you make it home safe last night? As if she cares. As if she hadn't just discussed my banishment from Christmas dinner. The audacity steals my breath. I pull the utility folder from my filing cabinet. Electricity, gas, internet, insurance all in my name. The pattern emerges with nauseating clarity. Every essential service, every financial burden, carried by the daughter they find convenient but not family. My laptop screen shows my banking portal, the cursor hovering over Cancel Automatic Payment. Tomorrow's scheduled transfer, $1,442. The same amount I've paid every month since signing those papers at Carolina First Bank. My finger hovers over the touchpad. She's not family, she's just convenient. Mother's voice replays in my mind, clear as if she stands beside me. 4 years flash before me standing in the kitchen with a paper plate last Christmas, while laughter flowed from the dining room. My absence from family photos despite my presence in the house. The group texts that somehow never included me. I click. A confirmation window appears. Are you sure you want to cancel this automatic payment? Never have 6 words carried such weight. My finger trembles above the touchpad. Click. 4 years of obligation end in a moment. Next day, the office coffee tastes bitter, but Amelia brings me a peppermint mocha from the shop downstairs. She places it on my desk without comment, but her eyes linger on my face. Rough Christmas season? She asks, perching on the edge of my desk. I shrug, not trusting my voice. You look like I did 2 years ago, she says, when I stop talking to my sister. My head snaps up. Amelia confident. Smiling Amelia estranged from family? She borrowed $30,000 for a business that never existed, Amelia continues. When I asked for it back, she told everyone I was trying to ruin her life. Something cracks in my chest. My mother has me paying for a house I'm not allowed to visit for Christmas. The words hang between us, the first time I've spoken the truth aloud. Amelia doesn't gasp or offer platitudes. She nods. James in accounting went through something similar. His parents took out credit cards in his name. He might have some advice. By afternoon, James sits across from me, explaining cosigner rights I never knew existed. They need your signature to refinance or sell, he says. That's leverage they never told you about. What about the utilities, I ask. Those you can cancel anytime. They're solely in your name. The weight pressing on my chest since last night begins to lift. Options materialize where before I saw only obligation. That evening, my neighbor Eleanor knocks with a plate of snickerdoodles. You seemed upset when you came home that night, she says. Everything okay? I invite her in, surprised when she accepts. We sit at my kitchen table, now cleared of financial statements but still heavy with their revelations. My family situation is complicated, I say, choosing my words carefully. Eleanor smiles, the corners of her eyes crinkling. Whose isn't? Listen, if you don't have plans for Christmas, a few friends are coming over, nothing fancy. You're welcome to join. A place at a table. An invitation freely given. The contrast to my family's calculated exclusion brings stinging tears. I blink away. Thank you, I might take you up on that. After Eleanor leaves, I make a list. Every utility, every service connected to that house with my name attached. Electricity, gas, water, internet, insurance. Each represents years of financial support while being emotionally shut out. I calculate the disconnection dates, arranging them in a precise pattern. Each service will end on the 24th of December, Christmas Eve, between 6 o'clock and 7 p.m. The hour when my family traditionally gathers for dinner. The dinner I'm not welcome to attend. My email to my mother is 3 sentences long. I've decided to stop financially supporting a home I'm not welcome in. All utilities in my name will be disconnected. This is effective immediately. I press send, close my laptop, and sleep through the night without waking once. Next day, my phone buzzes for the 17th time this morning. I know because I've been counting. The screen lights up with my mother's name, A photo from Happier Times Your birthday 3 years ago when I surprised her with tickets to see her favorite band. I slide my finger across the screen to silence it without answering. You can't just walk away from responsibility, Noah. Her latest text glows beneath 16 others, each message more desperate than the last. This affects all of us. I place my phone face down on the kitchen counter and turn back to my laptop, where the spreadsheet of my contributions stares back at me in neat, organized rows. 4 years of mortgage payments, $69,216. New roof last spring, $7,200. HVAC system the previous winter when the old one died during a cold snap, $5,400. Appliances when the refrigerator leaked and ruined the dishwasher, $2,850. The numbers don't lie, unlike family. The phone buzzes again. Uncle Vernon this time. Noah, this is serious. There are legal implications you don't understand. Call me immediately. Legal implications. Coming from the man who structured the mortgage so carefully, the bank manager uncle who explained how this arrangement would protect everyone, while actually protecting only my mother. I save the message as evidence. My doorbell rings, startling me. Through the peephole, I see James, my financial advisor, his leather portfolio tucked under his arm. I smooth my hair and open the door. Thanks for coming to me, I say. I appreciate it. James settles at my kitchen table, spreading documents between us. As co-signer, you have rights they never explained to you. His finger traces a clause on the mortgage agreement. You own half this property on paper, regardless of what they've told you. The revelation settles in my chest like a stone. But my name isn't on the deed. That's the problem, James taps the document. They deliberately kept you off the deed while putting you on all the liability. Classic case of financial exploitation. The word lands hard. Exploitation. I've been calling it family obligation, duty, love. Can they force me to keep paying? My voice sounds smaller than I intend. James shakes his head. They can try, but no court would side with them once they see this pattern. You've paid for a home you were explicitly told you weren't welcome in. He helps me organize my documentation, every transfer, every repair invoice, every utility payment into a single damning file. When he leaves, the weight on my shoulders feels different. Not lighter exactly. Redistributed. My phone rings again. Mother. This time I answer, pressing the record button, first something Amelia suggested yesterday when I broke down during our lunch break. Noah Elizabeth Wynne. My mother's voice cuts sharp as a blade. You've put us in an impossible position, the mortgage company called. Hello to you too, Mom. Don't get smart with me. After all we've done for you. The words stop me cold. Something shifts inside my chest, a tectonic plate moving after years of pressure. What exactly have you done for me, Mom? Silence stretches between us, thin and brittle as ice in spring. Excuse me? Her voice rises an octave. I'm curious. What have you done for me that justifies my paying your mortgage for 4 years? That justifies utilities in my name for a house I'm not welcome in? That justifies... She's not family, she's just convenient? The pause tells me everything. She didn't know I'd heard those words on the porch. You misunderstood what? No, I didn't. My voice remains steady. I heard you clearly. I heard Uncle Vernon. I heard Monroe. And I understood perfectly. Noah, you're being dramatic. We can discuss this when you're thinking rationally. I've never thought more rationally. Would you like me to email you the spreadsheet of my contributions to a house I don't own? It's quite comprehensive. Another silence. We're family, she finally says, as if those words should override everything else. Convenient when you need money, not family when you're setting the Christmas table. I hear her inhale sharply. Your father would be disappointed. Don't, the word comes out hard as flint. Dad valued honesty above everything. He'd be horrified by what you've done. The call ends with her hanging up. I sit motionless, heart hammering against my ribs, waiting for regret that doesn't come. The doorbell rings again. This time it's Eleanor from next door. Casserole dish in hand, concern etching lines around her eyes. Bad day? She asks, seeing my face. Illuminating day. I step aside to let her in. Eleanor places the dish on my counter. My grandmother's recipe. Comfort food for when the world feels cold. She hesitates. Amelia called. Said you might need company tonight. The simple kindness almost breaks me. Eleanor, who I've known less than a year, bringing food. Amelia, who texted earlier offering to help organize my documentation. James, who connected me with his lawyer friend for pro bono advice. This is what support looks like. Not manipulation disguised as family obligation. My phone pings with an email notification. I glance down to see the subject line, Important, Utility Disconnection Notice. The 24th of December, Christmas Eve. The day the lights will go out at my mother's house, the house I've been paying for but am not welcome in. I don't forward the notice to my mother. Some lessons need to be learned in darkness. Eleanor stays for dinner. We eat her grandmother's casserole while she tells me stories about her own family, the good, the bad, the complicated, no pretense of perfection. No manipulation disguised as love. After she leaves, I create a new spreadsheet. This one documents all forms of contact from my family since I canceled the mortgage payment. 43 texts, 17 calls. One social media post from Monroe about ungrateful family members at Christmas. That doesn't name me, but might as well have a spotlight on my face. My phone pings again. A message from my cousin Tamsin, who's been notably absent from the barrage. Check your email. Sent something you should hear. Delete after listening. The audio file downloads slowly. I press play and hear the unmistakable sound of my family's voices around what must be the dining room table. She won't hold out, Vernon says. Noah craves approval too much. Just tell her what she wants to hear. I raised her better than this. My mother's voice indignant. She knows her responsibilities. We can drag this out legally, Vernon adds. Keep her on the hook financially while we figure out next steps. Monroe laughs. Remember last Christmas when she ate in the kitchen with a paper plate and still paid the mortgage January 1st? Their laughter fills my apartment, but instead of cutting me open, it seals something shut, the last door through which doubt might enter. I save the recording to my documentation file and send Tamsin a single text. Thank you for the truth. Then I silence my phone and sleep through the night for the first time in weeks. The Christmas tree in the corner of my apartment twinkles with white lights, casting dancing shadows across my walls. Michael Bublé croons about a white Christmas from my speaker while I arrange sugar cookies on a festive platter, a tradition I've reclaimed for myself this year. My silenced phone lights up on the coffee table. Again, and again, and again. I check the time. 6:13 p.m. One more minute. I remember Uncle Vernon's voice clearly from my childhood, explaining how electricity worked during a summer storm that knocked out power to half of Greenville. It's not magic, Noah. Just a simple matter of connections and payments. The digital clock on my microwave flips to 6:14. 200 miles away, in the house I've paid for but never belonged in, the lights have just gone out. The carefully roasted turkey in my mother's double oven has stopped cooking. The Christmas playlist blaring from the expensive sound system I bought last year has fallen silent. The heat has ceased flowing through vents I paid to have cleaned every October. Everything stops when you stop paying for it. I pour hot water over a tea bag, the steam rising in delicate curls. The first voicemail arrives before I've added honey. What have you done to us? My mother's voice hits a pitch I haven't heard since I broke her favorite crystal vase at age 12. The power is out, the heat is gone. Everything just stopped working. Call me back immediately. I don't. The tea warms my hands as I curl into my window seat, watching actual snow begin to fall, the first white Christmas in Georgia in 17 years. The universe has impeccable timing. Uncle Vernon's call comes next. I let it go to voicemail too. Noah, this is Vernon. Whatever game you're playing needs to stop now. There are legal consequences for this kind of behavior. I've spoken with colleagues at the firm about your financial obligations. Call me back before you make things worse for yourself. Financial obligations. The same ones they were happy to saddle me with while excluding me from family photos. My phone buzzes with a text from Monroe. You're destroying everything we built. How could you do this to us at Christmas? Us. The word catches in my chest like a splinter. There was never an us that included me. I set my mug down and open my laptop. 3 emails wait in my inbox, precisely as I anticipated. South Carolina Electric, service disconnection confirmation. Greenville Gas and Heating, account closure complete. Southeastern Cable and Internet, service terminated successfully. All services linked to my name, my credit, my bank account for 4 years. All canceled with precise timing after the last dinner guest would have arrived but before the main course could be served. I imagine the scene. Mother's famous crown roast sitting half-cooked in a darkened kitchen. Guests huddled in coats around a table set with the good china. The confusion turning to dismay as each call to utility companies reveals the same truth: everything was in my name. Everything. My phone rings again. I answer this one. Hi, Noah. Amelia's voice carries the warm smile I've come to treasure these past weeks. Just checking in, how are you holding up? I'm okay. The words surprise me with their honesty. Actually, I'm better than okay. Good. Remember, you're welcome here any time if you change your mind about dinner. Thank you. The gratitude catches in my throat. After we hang up, I forward the recording. Tamsin secretly sent me the one with Mother's voice, clearly stating, she's not family to Vernon's boss at First Carolina Bank. I attach documentation of every mortgage payment, every utility bill, every home repair receipt from the past 4 years. The subject line reads, Potential ethics violation by Vernon Caldwell, financial exploitation of family member. Next, I send similar documentation to the Greenville Community Foundation, where Mother serves as treasurer. Their commitment to family values and financial integrity deserves to know about her approach to both. My final email goes to Diane Robertson at the Greenville Tribune. The veteran reporter has covered financial abuse of elders for years. I'm not elderly, but the pattern is the same: using emotional manipulation to extract financial support. The irony doesn't escape me. In trying to exclude me, they made me essential. In treating me as nothing but a convenient resource, they gave me the power to dismantle their comfort with a few clicks. My phone buzzes with a text from my cousin Tamsin. Uncle Vernon just got a call. He's been temporarily relieved of duties pending an internal review. Mom says Aunt Rosalind is freaking out. I set my phone down and watch the snow gather on my windowsill. For the first time in 4 years, Christmas Eve feels peaceful. They always said I wasn't really family. But family doesn't abandon you in the dark. The rapid knock at my apartment door comes at 7:30 on a Tuesday morning. I'm already dressed for work, coffee mug in hand, when I open it to find my mother standing there. Her eyes are red-rimmed, mascara slightly smudged beneath them. She clutches her purse with white knuckles. No, Rosalind says, voice breaking. May I come in? I step aside without a word. 4 years of mortgage payments bought me at least this much civility. She walks into my living room, taking in the modest but comfortable space with quick, darting glances. Her gaze lingers on the small Christmas tree in the corner, the first one that's ever been truly mine. We've always loved you, she says, tears flowing freely now. This is all a terrible misunderstanding. I take a slow sip of coffee, the bitter warmth steadying me. Is that why you said I wasn't family? Just convenient? Her mouth opens, closes, opens again. You weren't meant to hear that. Clearly. Monroe speaks without thinking. Vernon was just being practical. You know how he is. I set my mug down on the counter with a deliberate click. Mom, why are you here? She pulls a tissue from her purse, dabs at her eyes. The power is still off, the water too, it's freezing in the house. I imagine it is. You can't just abandon us like this. Not at Christmas. The irony nearly makes me laugh. Interesting choice of words. She straightens her shoulders, shifting tactics. Vernon says you're legally obligated to continue the payments, as co-signer. Vernon is wrong, I say simply. But I've scheduled a meeting at the bank tomorrow morning at 9. You should come. Bring Vernon. Hope flickers across her face. You'll reinstate the payments? We'll resolve the situation permanently. She misinterprets my calm for capitulation, relief washing over her features. As she leaves, my phone buzzes with a text from Monroe. Way to ruin Christmas for everyone. We are heartbroken. Hope you're proud of yourself. I scroll through my social media to find Monroe has posted a family photo from last year's own. I wasn't in with a lengthy caption about ungrateful family members who destroy holiday traditions. 3 relatives have already called to check on me, their concern transparent as glass. 2 hours later, the phone rings again. My neighbor Eleanor. There's some man in a suit asking questions about you in the building, she warns. Wanted to know about your finances if you seemed stressed. I told him to take a hike. Vernon, using his banking connections to dig into my financial status. When the phone rings again, it's Rosalind. The doctor says my blood pressure is dangerously high, she says without preamble. The stress of having no heat or water. If anything happens to me, I'll see you tomorrow at the bank. I interrupt, ending the call. I open my closet and select my charcoal gray suit, the one I reserve for my most important client meetings. Then I check my leather portfolio one more time. Mortgage statements, utility bills, receipts for the new roof and HVAC system, bank transfers, 4 years of financial records meticulously organized. And the recording. Cousin Tamsin sent it last week after witnessing one too many family planning sessions about how to handle the Noah situation. She's not family, she's just convenient. My mother's voice, clear as crystal, followed by Vernon's chuckle. On Tuesday, the Carolina First Bank conference room feels smaller than I remember. The polished oak table reflects the overhead lights as I arrange my documents in precise order. 9 o'clock approaches. James, my financial advisor, sits beside me. His presence isn't strictly necessary, but after 4 years of feeling outnumbered in my own family, I refuse to walk into this room alone. The door opens. Rosalind enters first, wearing her Sunday best, a strand of pearls at her throat. Vernon follows, confidence radiating from his tailored suit and bank manager's smile. Behind them comes Marcus Phillips, the regional director, Vernon's boss. Vernon falters slightly at the sight of Marcus. This wasn't part of his plan. Thank you all for coming, I say, my voice steadier than I expected. I believe we can resolve this situation quickly. Vernon leans forward. Noah, your mother is deeply distressed by your recent actions. Cutting off utilities during winter, refusing to honor your financial commitments. My commitments? I open the portfolio. Let's clarify those. I place the first document on the table. Mortgage statements showing $69,216 in payments over 4 years. The second document follows. Utility bills totaling $14,522. The third. Home repairs, new roof, HVAC system, appliances, $31,874. The total sinks in. Marcus Phillips studies each document with professional interest. A significant investment in a property where I'm not welcome, I continue, as evidenced by this. I press play on my phone. The recording fills the room. We all agreed she's not welcome this Christmas. Just keep her on the mortgage, though. She'll keep paying even if we don't invite her. She's not family, she's just convenient. Rosalind's face drains of color as her own words echo in the room. Vernon's professional mask slips, revealing the calculation beneath. Marcus Phillips clears his throat. Mr. Harris, he addresses Vernon. Did you facilitate this mortgage arrangement? Vernon's smile tightens. It was a standard co-signing situation, where you deliberately structured the agreement to benefit your sister while placing financial burden on your niece, Marcus asks. While employed as a manager at this institution? The silence stretches. I slide the final document across the table. I'm transferring full mortgage responsibility to my mother, effective immediately. I've paid for 4 years. The house is all yours now, Mom. So is the mortgage. Vernon's voice rises. She can't afford. That's not my concern, I interrupt. Not anymore. Marcus stands. Mr. Harris, I'd like to speak with you privately. Now. As Vernon is escorted from the room, my mother reaches for my hand. I pull away gently but firmly. I don't understand, she whispers. How will I keep the house? The same way most people do, I answer. By paying for it yourself. I gather my documents, nodding to James. As we walk toward the door, Rosalind calls after me. Noah, please. Where will you be for the remaining holidays? I pause, one hand on the doorknob, and look back at her. Somewhere I'm welcome. Somewhere I'm family, not just convenient. The bank door closes behind me with a solid, satisfying click. For the first time in 4 years, my shoulders feel truly straight, my steps light and purposeful. The January air is cold against my face, but I don't mind it. Freedom has its own particular warmth. A year later, I am celebrating a different Christmas. The sun slips through my blinds Christmas morning, painting golden stripes across my comforter. I stretch beneath the warmth, savoring the silence. No kitchen chaos, no passive-aggressive comments about my late arrival, just peaceful quiet in my modest Athens apartment. I pad to the kitchen in my flannel pajamas and wool socks, the hardwood cool beneath my feet. The coffee maker gurgles to life with a press of my finger. A gift to myself, programmable, with a thermal carafe that keeps coffee hot for hours. No rushing to pour a cup before someone empties the pot. My refrigerator holds ingredients I've never used for Christmas breakfast. Thick-cut bacon, farm-fresh eggs, sourdough bread from the bakery down the street. The heavy cast-iron skillet, another recent purchase, heats on the stove as I slice strawberries for a side dish. "Merry Christmas to me," I whisper, cracking eggs into a bowl. The phone buzzes on the counter. Mom's name appears for the third time this morning. I let it ring until silence returns. The family home belongs to her now, in name and responsibility. The bank manager's face when I played that recording. "She's not family. She's just convenient," still brings a flutter of vindication to my chest even a year later. My breakfast plate steams before me at my small kitchen table. I bow my head, not in prayer, but in acknowledgement. I'm free. The therapy sessions began 2 weeks after the bank meeting. Dr. Laurel's office felt like neutral territory where I could finally speak the truth aloud. "You've been financially exploited," she said plainly during our first session. No sugarcoating. No, but they're family. Just simple recognition of what happened. I bite into the sourdough toast, butter melting into the crunchy surface. The taste reminds me of Saturday mornings with Dad before he died, when we would walk to Thompson's Bakery while Mom slept in. The memory comes without its usual sharp edge of loss. My new savings account already holds 2 mortgage payments worth of money. By next year it might hold enough for a down payment. A home in my name only. The calendar on my wall shows appointments and plans I've made for myself. Financial literacy workshop at the community center. Coffee with Amelia from work. Dinner with Tamsin's only cousin who earned back my trust after sending me that damning recording of the family meeting. Mom's attempts at reconnection fill my blocked call log. Uncle Vernon hasn't spoken to me since the bank manager escorted him from the building. His professional reputation unraveled quickly after the internal investigation. Monroe's social media still occasionally references family betrayal, but fewer relatives engage with his posts now. The house, that beautiful Victorian with its creaking porch steps and new roof I paid for, went on the market last month. Mom couldn't maintain the payments alone. Sometimes I drive past it on my visits to Greenville, watching as the for sale sign swings in the winter wind. The Christmas tree in my living room stands 3 feet tall, decorated with ornaments I chose myself. No heirloom glass angels. No traditions carried forward that served someone else's story. Just twinkling lights reflecting possibilities in each shining ball. The women at the financial literacy program ask me questions I once couldn't answer for myself. How do you know when helping becomes hurting? What's the difference between responsibility and exploitation? I don't have perfect answers, but I share my story, watching recognition dawn in their eyes. I used to think if I gave enough, stayed quiet enough, they'd finally see me. But I've learned, you don't need to sit at someone else's table to know your worth. You can build your own and serve peace, not pain.